Ladies and peoplingtons, this is another one of those weeks where I feel like there is as close to no news as there will ever be about anything to do with the beta. All the priority queue stuff has gone out. I think it's open to everyone so they can just play whenever they like or whenever they're invited. So you're not getting any more news on that. He's already said there's no updates on when draft will be released. He said maybe he'll tell us next week or when the NDA's coming down. So you're not allowed to watch Arena other than through this guy. So let's just watch a half an hour of games and see the shits. He's coming. He's just taking a whiz. He's wiping the end of his knob off. He'll be here in a minute, ladies and jeeps. Will he? I don't know. Maybe he's dead. No. I can hear him. He's running. Oh, now he's dropped his keys. Let's have a look at this. Well, there's his face. We did it.
What is up, my friends? Welcome to another one of our Wednesday Magic the Gathering Arena live streams. Today's going to be another gameplay stream, so we're going to go through, try to kill out some of these quests, and I do have some updates for you guys. I'll get to them a little bit later on, but we've got a patch coming next week, right in time for Valentine's Day, for all of you lovers out there, and it's kind of a fan appreciation thing, so...
What has the Valentine's Day got to do with a game patch? Unless it's Valentine's themed, he should shut his fucking balls. Plus, nobody's got any girlfriends. This is magic, you dumb twat.
I'll fill you in on a little bit of what the details are later on. First, I'm going to make you suffer through help.
Yeah, we're not watching a full hour of this week because it's always the same. He's not that great at magic, which is fine, but then everyone playing him is horny for wins, so they smash his balls. So we'll watch 1 or 2 games tops, and then I'll fast forward it to the end to see what this sexy news is.
Me build decks and watching me play Magic against people. But it's been a lot of fun hanging out. If you guys who hung out with us last week, I actually had an utter blast. That last game that we played with that black-green deck was super cool. You can check it out if you sift through the innumerable videos that we've got in the Twitch archive. You should also check out, if you didn't watch last night's premiere of the Team Modern Super League. It was really cool. So definitely go back and give that a look. But I am going to start things off today by, I guess, jumping right into the game. So let's go on in. I'll keep an eye on chat and chat with you guys. I know that you guys asked me a bunch of questions, so I'm going to try to do my best to get through them as we are working our way through the quests and everything today. Let's see. First things first, these are our quests. I could wash them away, but...
Quests seem super relevant in getting your coins, even more so than Magic's jewels. It seems weird to think about coins and stuff when this game is marketed as being full magics like Modo. Like, I can't imagine Modo saying, hey, win a game with a blue-green deck for 20 Modo points. Whatever. Whatevs!
Magic the Gathering Arena sweater. This is literally the only one of these that exists right now because this was supposed to be a Pro Tour sweater, but they incorrectly made it, and so it got sent here, and obviously someone misprinted a cardigan for a game I work on. I just snapped it up real quick.
Oh man, that's a collector's item.
All right, so I guess while I'm on the quest, I'll dribble out some of this patch info, and then I can also recap it for you at the end. Just so you all know, I saw someone ask earlier if there's going to be an account wipe along with this patch. There is not. We're testing the economy right now, and it is not very smart for us to reset the progress that you guys have got. We actually need to continue to get data because it's helping us make some of our decisions, and one of those decisions is actually with quests. We're kind of doing a minor revamp on some of the quests. I saw some people in the chat earlier when we were chatting about recycling their quests, especially the 150 gold quests or whatever that involve you winning your match with a particular color combination deck. We're actually changing that. Last I'd heard, we were updating some of the quests to have better rewards for people. We also have data. One of the big pieces of data that comes out of quests is every time you click this button right here and recycle your quest, we get to know which quests you're recycling. So it's very clear to us when there are massive spikes of people who don't want to do a particular quest. It's probably not a quest that we should have in the game. So we're going to be getting rid of some of the quests that people just aren't wanting to do. I'm going to try to look at replacing them with things that people are more interested in. So that's a nice little revamp to some of these quests. For people like me who love the deck building restrictions, that makes me happy because like some of them were more obscure. Like I love a deck building restriction, but I'm not playing like 15 artifacts. That's just no, man. That's not what I want to do. Anyway, so like I said, our stuff that we care about right now, we care about killing creatures, we care about playing black and white spells, we care about playing green and blue spells. Do you guys want to do green, blue, or black, white? A note, we're not doing an aggro merfolk deck if we do blue, green. We're not doing an aggro vampires deck if we do black, white. So
good for him.
Decide which of those two color combinations we're going to build, and then we'll figure out exactly what we're going to do. Alright, so some black-white control. Yeah, black-white. I actually had a black-white control deck built for a while. I really like it. So looks like there's more black-white than blue-green. So we'll start off with a black-white deck. As you can see, we won't be playing Do Not Delete. If you missed it last week, I called this deck Do Not Delete. That way I don't delete it because it's my favorite of my decks. This is the black-green deck that we had a really sweet match with. It's an Explore deck, Chupacabras. The good one, not the new one from Rivals of Ixalan, please. Anyway, let's go ahead and make a new deck. So, yeah, I do like the fact that my Arena client knows me well enough that it didn't give me any deck building restrictions that require me to play play red cards because I am like the anti-Lee Sharp when it comes to the things that I enjoy playing. All right, let's see. So.
I don't know who he thinks Lee Sharp is. I think Lee Sharp is a 1990s Man United footballer who didn't make it. He played for Man United, so maybe he did make it. But he wasn't the sweeps. Poor old Lee Sharp.
Access to Chupacabra versus Chupacabra. I mean, in all fairness, like depending upon what the order is, either of those Chupacabras could come out on top. Let's see. So we have a couple copies of Ixalan's Binding. It. All right, this is gonna be interesting.
All right, I don't think we need to see him build a deck for 15 minutes.
Do I have Settler Wreckage?
So let's just watch gameplay.
This is gonna be an interesting deck. I do not think it's gonna be particularly good, but let's see. Let's get our value cards in there. Let's get some Conquistadors. Those are
all right. I'll join here.
Quest, but I gotta keep it. All right, we're gonna get rid of Call of the Feast, and let's get rid of. This is a tough one.
This deck looks balls.
And we'll just.
It is a demo. I mean, a beta, so it's fine that there's no cards. But it's like he's intentionally sabotaged his deck to make it a bit different. And yeah, it's a beta. If you have to do that in real, you don't. I don't want to shit on it already.
Any sort of like larger influx of packs or cards outside of like the basic economic system, it actually taints the results of the testing that we're doing. So we need to keep it like it is for right now to make sure that we're getting some fidelity in those test results. So sorry to be the bearer of medium news, but that is the case. There's some plenty of other interesting and cool things going on. So hopefully when we show that to you guys, you will like what I've got coming down the pipes. Let's go ahead and queue up with our not particularly great deck. In fact, once we get into the duel scene, I can tell you about one of the other updates that's coming. This is kind of a visual update in the duel scene when you are playing a match of Magic against an opponent, which is what we call this right here. Let's see. All right, 2 lands, Skittering Heartstopper, Dusk Legion Zealot. I'm keeping this obviously, but gross. Nivik Viking says trading update. The update is that there is no trading.
That's not an update. That's how it's always been.
Kind of what it was before.
Yeah.
It's worth saying again, apparently. So one big update as far as the visuals go is once we get in here, we're moving some stuff, playing around with this turn tracker right here. Right now it is very subdued, as you can see.
A lot of people don't seem to like this guy. I think he does a decent enough job. He's not a great Magic player, which is fine. But
boo,
oh dear, how are you getting out of this one?
All right, fine. Like the green will be changing to kind of a mythic orange color, and we're going to be moving your avatars and all this stuff to be more centrally located instead of off to the side right here. And the big thing for me is we're also adding temporary stops. So like what you can do is you can click on like the untap, upkeep, draw, first main, your combat stuff, and it'll set a stop, a single shot stop for you. So you can kind of like, I know that during my next upkeep I'm going to need to do a particular thing. You can go ahead and just click on that turn tracker and set that stop. It's based on some of the feedback that we've gotten from people in terms of things that they would want. So very happy to be able to do that for people. Okay, what do I want to do here? I think I'm just going to pass. I don't really need to play another one of these guys here. No, it's end turn. No.
End turn toggles. I only just found to figure that out.
I was hanging out downstairs with the Wizard's office is like 4 floors, and I work on the top floor, and the dev team like just owns the second floor. Like dev teams, all of the like technology departments and everything are all hanging out down there, and so I spend a lot of time going back and forth between the 2 floors. I got to hang out with Chris Clay, who is our head designer in charge, and okay, let's see what ends up happening here, because we're almost certainly vanquishing this Mistcloak Herald. Yeah, let's go ahead and vanquish that weak guy. Although I probably could have waited until after combat. My opponent might not have attacked with the Branchwalker at that point. Probably misplay on my part, whatever. Yeah, go ahead and run over me. That's fine. But I was watching him play, and he's been playing on the developer build, which is has got all of that put together right now. So I got to see it in action. It was kind of cool, and saw him make the very first no attackers. Saw him go through. He demonstrated the temporary stop to me. And my immediate thought was, I play lots of decks, so I'm just like, all right, I know that I'm going to want to set this for like 3 or 4 turns in a row, and it's a lot easier for me than every single time doing that than basically setting a stop that always remembers to set there. And he brought up some really interesting points that I'm sure will be explained in the patch notes as to why we're doing that. So why we went the direction that we went. So let's see. That card can resolve. That will be a problem, but it is what it is. Anyway, so that is definitely one of the things that you'll be able to see. Like from my own perspective, it is significantly clear. I'm really interested to see what you guys think once you get to see it. I mean, like again, it seems kind of like a minor thing, but some of these polished things, especially adding that little bit of functionality, is something that does make the game experience a lot nicer. So there's also some updated visuals. I couldn't get exact clarification on what this is because he only showed me like while he was playing his match, but we're updating the visuals for like the deck builder and the deck manager. Because so basically that entire scene that I spent the last 10 minutes on prior to getting into this game. They're doing some looking at that, so that'll do a little bit of a refresh too. The bigger thing, the one that you guys will actually care about the most, I believe, out of all of this, is some of the changes that we're doing, like based on feedback to the economy. They're really minor changes this time around. Like that is kind of how we have to function. Is like we turn little knobs here and there to make sure that we're getting to where we need. This is based off of play patterns, based off of the data that we've got, based on feedback. You guys who've been putting information into the forums for us and are doing a wonderful job. Like we're reading everything. It's really making things significantly easier on us. So thank you very much for being so participative in those forums. But we're changing some stuff like increasing like the rare and uncommon wildcard frequency, kind of like situations. Some of the situations where you would have gotten like a common wild card previously, you're going to be getting an uncommon wild card in that spot. So it's just kind of making sure that there's slightly more of those higher rarity things in the circulation and in players' ability to collect them starting the next patch. So that should make people a little bit happier when it comes to kind of the rate of acquisition for those cards for their collection. So I already talked about the quest overhaul stuff that we're working on too. Oh, yeah, I also forgot.
Play the game, you bellend.
So that's gonna be cool. As a person who literally squelches emotes on every single game where I'm allowed to, I'm not necessarily looking forward to the well met spam, but I love it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that is going to be an immediate silence on my part. Just too many Magic people are dicks, me included, as I always say. But I never spam. I play Rocket League every day, and I never say nice save, what a shave, nice shot, eat my shit. Pure silence all day long.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. What do you guys think of that? I have no idea whether we're doing a squelch or not. And to be honest, I probably wouldn't squelch at this point. Do I want to stop that guy? I do not want to stop that guy. I'll take the damage. That's fine. I would like a plains. Oh no. Oh no. Alright. That is not a plains. We're going to pretend that this swamp that we drew last turn and didn't play wasn't in our hand earlier. So we are probably not winning this game, which is fine. Updates or ETA on draft mode. So like I said last week, we're still finalizing some of the details. I do not have any like brand new information about draft or the NDA drop for you this week. Next week, I expect that next week I will at least I probably won't be able to give you guys a specific date, but I at least can give you a like significantly more defined time window than what you currently know, which is soon and or early this year. I'm hoping, if nothing else, I can narrow it down to like a couple weeks span. But that's what I'm gonna try to have for you next week. This week right now, I'm sorry, we're still finalizing some of this stuff because it's like surprisingly a lot that goes into all of this stuff in terms of how it's like wraps into all the other stuff that we're doing. So we just want to make sure that we have everything right before we give you guys more specific information. So next week, I'm hoping I'll be able to have that stuff for you. That is definitely my plan. My expectation right now is that I'll be able to do it, but we'll see. Life is life. Sometimes things change. Streaming, yes. Hopefully soon. All right. I'm going to play this land, and I am going to block to kill off my opponent's creature next turn. That way I can add a little bit more on our turn counter, and then I am absolutely conceding this game and going to go on to something where I am not getting crushed and can maybe pay a little more attention also. So. Oh, this game is not winnable. I mean, this game hasn't been winnable for like 2 or 3
It wasn't winnable
like,
when he was playing Merfolk.
Runner, plains, settle the wreckage. Like that would get us out of there. So
it wouldn't get you out of there because the guy will probably know what settle the wreckage is, and he won't attack with 65 creatures. He'll attack with 22. Then what will you do?
Let's see. Like, toss them in chat. I will gladly sift through this chat log and take those back to the dev team. I know they've already got stuff picked out, but I love crowdsourcing this from the people who are going to be using it as well. So, what do you guys want to see?
The guy should all-out attack. What's the worst?
PJ
What the fuck? What's the worst that could happen?
I will block.
He didn't even attack with his 2/2 unblockable man.
That has happened.
What a bag of
I will
spaghettis.
death touch here. All right. What do you get me, friend?
Nothing.
What do you get me, Mr. Dusk Legion Zealot?
You said you were going to concede, you bellend.
Man, the worst part about this is it's not even like Ghost Quarter. I can't Ghost Quarter my own land so that I can go get a plains. This is just butts. All right. Well, that was fun. I'm going to get to see. Good game opponents. Assault emote and a tilt emote. I love how your first place that you guys go is ways to mock my opponents. Bienvenido a Twitch chat. Bible thump for top decking lands. Top decking like a pro. Man, where are the friendly? Come on, where's the wholesome meme? Emotes?
Where are the wholesome players?
Show me some nice emotes, some loving emotes that let your opponent know that you respect them as a Magic player, even though you are currently destroying them in the game that you're playing.
Eat my balls. They should have an eat my balls emote.
Kilaka says BM emote is needed. Sloth face is a good emote. It's like that would actually be amazing if like it was just like a thought bubble appears next to their head and sloth face is just the thing that's there.
Concentrate on making a game first.
Right.
Oh,
nice
Merfolk again.
Me because like depending upon how you want to use that, it's the same as like well played. Like the preemptive well played that you see places where people give stuff like it's like saying GGW like GG well played to your opponents like when you know you're about to crush them. There are a few moments in life for me that are more cathartic when someone does that to me, and then I absolutely destroy them and give them the GGWP back. Like it makes me so happy as a human. I am losing this game.
Well, that's a sad thing to hear, that his best feeling in life is to win a game of Magiques and say GG's. Magic is just full of scum.
I will have additional information on when you can stream next week, I believe. So, I've been saying this for a few weeks now. I know, I'm sorry. Like, this is kind of an announcement for an announcement of sorts, but this is a big moving thing, and we're planning a lot of really cool stuff. At least I think they're really cool. I might be biased because I'm the one working on it, but some pretty cool stuff for people who are interested in streaming and making videos, and there's just a lot that goes into it. I want to make sure we get it right, because we don't want to do anything that would...
We don't want to do anything that makes it look like everybody plays beat down merfolks and that's it, because it's the best.
Get wrecked, son. Much respect, by the way. That would go over really well. Okay.
Why not allow customizable non-sweary emotes where you can just say "rice and peace" or "eat my spaghetti"? That's it. That's what I would use if I have to say "get wrecked, son." I probably wouldn't.
I don't think we're playing Bishop of Rebirth anytime soon. I think this is an Inspiring Cleric. Let's get Inspiring Cleric. Yeah, we will not be attacking. And I will very happily double block on this Mistbinder here if our opponent decides to attack.
He's probably playing another one.
Any account wipes before allowing streaming? I actually don't know the answer to that question.
Oh, of course there will be.
Right now of the exact date that we are going to be allowing either streaming or doing the next account wipe. So,
well, it made it sound a little bit there like you'll be able to stream the beta as opposed to full release. I didn't expect that at all.
Boom. I mean, at least if they River Herald's Boon, it gives us a great Chupacabra target.
Oh, what a surprise. He had all the answers. Yep. He had all the answers the whole time. Who would have believed it? Look at that face. Oh, yeah. Look at that face.
Not the same opponent.
He was acting like he didn't give a shit.
This is the reason why I laughed at putting Walk the Plank into our deck. All right. This is a 6 power swing. I'm very happy with that. We're really close to dying anyway. Although I think we're fine. Like,
yeah, he might pull it out with his ass depending on what the other guy has. But who cares, really? I always say, ladies and jeeps, that this is just indicative of the way that we all, as human beings, play the Magiques. We sit down thinking, I want to play cards that I've never cast. I want to play cards like the Eldrazi 9/11. You can't play odd or even spells, or you can't attack with odd or even creatures. You know that weird thing. What else? The 5/7 Eldrazi, that your opponent can't play lands. I want to play those in competitive decks. And Magic Jewels gave us those options. And what did everyone do? Let me play Pro Tour Energy. Let me play Planeys. Let me play the best of the sweeps. And that's all that happened until it was the shits. And it's happening here already. I mean, you can play anything you want and you're banging out your mythic £30 rare bullshits because you got to win with your merfolk in a demo. We are arseholes. Magiques players are the shittiest bum cheeks that there is. Me, you, this guy, unfortunately, LSV, Gabby Sparts, Elantris, Kenji, all a bunch of tits.
Tips, basically.
Even he agrees, tits, basically.
And so you get to spend your faster playing turns picking up time extensions that you can use later on.
Don't like that format. Okay. Don't like that system.
Terrible.
This system is shit.
See where it gets us.
Beep, beep, beep,
so nice because if we put this guy into play, it gives us another thing we can get back with our Grim Captain's Call.
You are fighting a battle that you cannot take a shit on your balls about.
Because Kumena is the one advantage we had was that we were beating our opponents on cards and had a much better long game than they've got, and Kumena puts the kibosh on that. So
you didn't play your planies. That's the problem.
Not good, not gravy, as it were. Undo for tapping mana, you can argue that. Control Z, basic undo function, backs you up, so you can make sure that you undo should you make a mistake. Yes, do your thing.
I didn't know that, by the way. Nobody told me Control Z.
Will BNR be reflected on MTG Arena just like Paper Magic? You know, when the format that we're playing on MTG Arena is the same as the format you're playing in Tabletop Magic, the banner restricted lists will match for those formats. So, like, if a card is banned in Standard, and we're actually playing Standard on Arena, it's going to be matching. Like, Standard is Standard no matter where it is.
I wonder if they change it then, what will happen?
Will this game be on the Switch? I mean, I know that there's some sweet cardboard stuff that's being done right now, and Cardboard and Magic have history with one another, but we should probably, I mean, you know, I'll leave that one up to the dev team. Alright, anyway, let's get this into play, question mark. Get myself planes. And I will be attacking with my Kinjali Sunwing. 'Cause I can. That's right. Gotta instill that fear in our opponents. Oh no. Oh no, he has a thing. No. Alright, fine. Okay, anyway, end turn. We're not doing anything here. So, Nate will have more information about the NDA in next week's live stream. Thank you, Magic. You're doing the good work there. Is there a tutorial? I believe the team is actually working on something that will function as a new player experience now. So,
alright, well, that's essential.
Because obviously, if we want a bunch of people who haven't played Magic before to be able to come in and understand how things work, that would be beneficial to us. So, I do not have any specifics or any inner work knowledge of that, but I believe that they are looking at that. Is this an end of turn, beginning of end step? Yeah, so I should probably flip this now. Okay. Get myself a tapped almost Maze of Ith, and
oh no,
opponent can do their thing. So janky deck. This is our attempt to play black-white control deck to complete our play black and white cards quests.
Stretch the game out by 45 minutes. That's what we love.
Or do you mean our opponent's Merfolk deck? Because this looks like a real deck. We're not playing a real deck. How does the camera handle a board full of token creatures? It actually does a lot of stacking. Stacking is a good way to go. Oh no. Oh no! Well, we're gonna not enjoy this turn before we untap and get to Moment of Craving off the Mistbinder. How am I gonna block this turn? Well, I mean, if he offers, my opponent offers, I will definitely try to double block the Kumena. So Kumena's probably not coming in.
Yeah.
If he attacks with Justice
double block the
4/4
Kumena and take
fire,
4,
I can easily eat this
5,
3
6,
damage
7, 8,
and
9.
block with my Dusk Legion,
Unless one of his peeps have lifelink.
It literally cycles us a card and prevents some damage. It is awesome. Sheensack's right. Jank decks are the spice of life. I'm actually really enjoying the game as it is right now because this is fun Magic for me. I enjoy the pursuits of endgame. I have, I'm playing legitimate standard decks at tournaments, Magic. The fact that I can't do that anymore, really, other than going to FNM and stuff like that, is it is a little sad for me. But I love all of us having incomplete collections, building weird decks to suit weird quest requirements. It is a
That is absolutely not true. Absolutely, we've just fucking seen it. 2 Merfolk decks identical in a row. Last week, it's just dinosaurs or Merfolk. I'm sure Whizbangs would love the idea that we just cobbled together our zombie bullshits and all play it together and have a good laugh. That never happens. It never happens. It's not happening here. It's not happening in this. From what we've seen from his streams, it's such a shame that we as Magic's players need to be herded into little pre-constructed deck pens to avoid building the same 4 bull bags. Balls! Give me the shits! I want to play the shittiest decks. Man, with the best cards though. I remember Phyrexian Obliterator being in a mono black deck in Jewels of the Planeswalkers 2014 or some balls like that. And it was amazing. And it wasn't very good, but nobody's deck was very good. Except Goblins. I think Goblins was unbeatable. But still, one mistake out of, what, 11, 15 decks? Ah, mushroom spaghettis. Ladies and jeeps, what are we going to do with ourselves? It's all our own fault.
Loading the game up with cards that are currently in unrotated formats. So that is step 1 for us. Alright, I think we can start battling with both of our Sunwings and call to the feast this turn. So let's do that. Our opponent can pump their entire team with Kumena.
Yep. +1/+1.
And if that happens, this can't get rid of ours. So we would be trading off one of our Sunwings for the Shaper Apprentice. We do have a Grim Captain's call back. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with losing. He'll be fine. He's got 3 cards. They're all definitely lands.
Pump time? This seems like a reasonable play for our opponent to make. Nope, alright, still drawing. Okay. Well, let's...
Not necessarily. He just doesn't need to block anything.
I think I want to tap like this. We'll call it a feast. Make a few lifelinkers. Right now we still only have vampires in our graveyards, so we're probably not going to do too much with that. But anyway, there's some other stuff I'm working on that I talked a little bit about last week, so I'm kind of curious about taking your guys' temp about it. I'm really interested in doing more streams and making them a little bit longer, even like as we start to move into area when the NDA drops and we're allowing more people come in, where we'll obviously want to, like, rather than coming to hang out with us, we'd rather you guys go hang out with them, because that is part of the fun of generating that content, is having cool kids come and hang out with them. But that would be like, you know, streaming more days a week, trying to extend the time and rotate more people through. Like, I know you guys, like, just thoroughly enjoy the time that we get to spend together, but I think it'd be kind of cool to get some of people who work in the building other than me into this seat doing more streaming. People on the dev team, people in R&D, yeah. I'm just curious what you guys think of that.
How is this guy not attacking with all his peeps?
Please feel free to attack. I will Spires of Arazka you.
Yeah, why are we? It's one or none. It's all or none, I should say.
I just got back from Spain, so I have yet to actually have an opportunity to talk to him about that.
This game is the fucking shits.
Let's see.
I don't. Well, out of respect to you, my loyal, faithful viewers, I'm going to let him finish the match. But what? What for? He can't win.
Don't worry, I'll have you guys asking questions about ETAs and things like that. Actually, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. I will do a recap towards the end of the stream for you. So, yeah, I probably should have mazed this guy and just taken the 4. I can't attack anymore. I really need to find a way to kill something.
You need to blow up all the peeps.
I need to draw a Settle the Wreckage and trick my opponent somehow.
Yeah, but he's not attacking with all his peeps. Oh yeah, of course. That might be why he's not attacking with all his peeps.
Sweaters. Paul does wear sweaters, actually. Not as regularly as I do, but I have seen it happen.
All right, so Settle the Wreckage is why he's not attacking with everyone, which is fair.
I don't think any of these actually help us, especially not with this board. Yeah, we're gonna try to get ourselves into a situation where we can whittle our opponent's board down. In the next couple of turns, we'll draw our settle the wreckage, because that's how Magic works, and we'll be able to settle the wreckage away, our opponent's entire board, and everything.
He has not attacked with all his peeps one
the heart
time.
of the cards.
So you're not settling the wreckage
Well,
away.
you won one game before ending the session? Nah, probably not. Like, we're playing slower decks. Last time when we got to clear stuff out, like, we played a much better deck than this, and we also played that blue-white aggressive deck last time too that we built, and just steamrolled people because it's really hard to stop 3/3s with flying for 1 mana. Oh no. Yeah, okay. All right, this isn't good. It's also not bad, but it's certainly not good.
Yeah, the reason why it's taken so long is because he's at least bluffing.
This is when it is officially too late for us to draw Settle the Wreckage, which means that we are going to draw Settle the Wreckage. After this game, we're going to take one of our other decks out for a swim.
No, we're not watching another game.
All we really need to do is do blue or green or white or black. They don't need to be blue, green, or white.
You can shit on your own ass.
And a black-green deck. So maybe we'll take out either the Chupa deck, or we'll take out the blue-white deck. Blockers. All right, let's see. Let's move to block. You go here, you go here, you go here, and those are my blockers. You stop attack. I'll take 3. Let's see. Oh, I won't. The only dinosaur deck that I have played in MTG Arena is a green-white dinosaur control deck, which I would happily play that one again.
It was good.
Settle the Wreckage.
There you go. You got what you wanted, and you're still gonna lose.
We're doing it!
You're not doing it. What have you fucking missed, you bellend? He's only attacking with 3 of his 15 creatures,
Okay.
you knob. You knob!
All right, no one tell our opponent. Shh, shh, shh.
Hope they're not watching.
Shh. No ghost, no ghost. Numot ghost. This is what happens when you have the heart of the cards.
You just shut your fucking balls. It's like he's completely forgotten
no.
what's actually happening.
This isn't even my favorite someone gets the card they're looking for moment for Magic. I remember when, who was it? Owen Turtenwald was streaming at one point, and I think it was a Vintage Cube or something like that, and was begging to draw Black Lotus or begging to draw Ancestral or one of the Power 9 cards in his deck, and apparently Worth was watching him, and a gift box, basically a screen popped up on his Magic Online account, just said, plea for power, because Worth had given him a plea for power. In response to his plea for power, it was fantastic. All right, opponent. You have me dead to rights. Please attack me with all of your creatures. Keep going. Keep going. If you give me an attack that I can withstand, I will definitely withstand it.
He did spunk his balls a little bit.
Problem is, I can't get myself into the spot where my opponent has enough. Oh no.
Yeah, he figured it out.
He figured it out. All right. 5 creatures.
I think this guy is
I can
underestimating
block.
how many hundreds of games this guy has probably played against people with open white mana who suspiciously have not conceded the game. So he was acting like it was a legit blow up all the peeps.
Maybe they'll make a mistake.
Plus he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards and he could draw another one.
Blockers like this. Spire's your flyer.
There's no need for that at all. You just saved him an extra creature, you stupid fucking knobhead. Oh, he didn't even use it. Interesting.
Okay, we're gonna Grim Captain's Call. Oh, I should have blocked the Sunwing so that I could get more things back with my Grim Captain's Call. That's a mistake on my part.
The whole game is a mistake. Playing Magic is a mistake.
So I can't play that though, because if I play that and don't play all of the cards, my opponent will know.
He already knows.
I Grim Captain's Call, and I get back a... I think I get back Martyr of Dusk, and then I play Martyr of Dusk. Like that. And then I pass the turn and cry. Let's see if we can get him to fall for it.
Let's see if he's also had enough of life and is just attacking with all his peeps to get it out of the way.
What I really want to happen is I want our opponent to swing him with everything next turn, and we settle the wreckage, and they just have a counterspell. I'd be very happy about that.
Me too. Just so it'd be finished. Although everyone who plays counterspells is a dickhead.
Oh, I know they won't. Like, there's no reason to, which is why it's never going to happen. But I mean, I wasn't supposed to draw the settle the wreckage either, so we can beg. Maybe it'll happen. Like, just because they played it around at every other turn doesn't mean they're going to play around it this turn. Oh yeah, totally ready to get blown out.
We're up to 40 minutes. That's usually
signal and settle.
That's usually where my Bandicam explodes. So if it just cuts off, you know what's happened. Oh man, I thought this game would be super fast because the guy's playing Merfolk. I imagine he'll just run him over. There's no news. I mean, I'll let it just play out. I don't believe there's going to be any news worth me mentioning to you what it is. There's no release on the NDA. There's no squeebs on the Squeeby Babes. All of that stuff.
Man, I waited a turn and I got a 6th creature. Alright, whatever. I will exile all of my opponent's creatures. And here comes the counterspell. And then I concede crying. Alright, so put a bunch of lands into play and you still got a whole bunch of cards in your hand. And I'm still just super dead. So... where do you see library size? You can hover over it, just like this. 31, I have 36. Believe it or not, our opponent has drawn more cards than us with a Kumena that came down like 7 turns ago. So, that's where you can find it. Yeah, 4 mana open with 2 white. What could it mean? Who knows? It could mean anything. It could be a boat. But Kumena doesn't need a speaker. Kumena has done plenty of speaking for Kumena's itself. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's not bad.
Can't be blocked, you say. Would you like to put that into your graveyard? You would not. That is an acceptable decision.
Why is this
All
card...
right, let's see. Am I just dead on board to I am.
Why is his library face up, I wonder?
Let's see. Let's try to not die.
Just give the game up! Fucking hell!
Oh man, I should have tapped that mana for myself.
You should have just given the game up when he played a turn 1 Merfolk, you bellend.
This is our option, and it is not a good one now that it tapped our black mana for us. But
well, play Freebooter, because I want to see what's in his hand.
Our play was to try to draw a removal spell that would allow us to kill this card instantly, like a Vanquish the Weak or something like that, which we definitely didn't get. Alright, let's play another white card, and then we will concede the game to our opponent's Kumena. Incredible playing around our Settle the Wreckage. That was
not incredible, the most basic.
By anyone.
It was
Take
basics.
action? I would like to take action.
It was basic
We're only
biatch.
getting 2, so that they know that we have another one in our hand.
He does actually play another game. Well, I'm not...
Good game.
Fuck it. Fuck you.
Updating that phase ladder that you saw in the middle of the screen there, the one that like tracks what part of the turn it is and whose turn it is. Updating the color and the visual look so that it's more striking than the green that it is right now. The Mythic Orange is what they're looking at right now. And then you also the ability to click on those and set a temporary stop for that phase, which is really cool. We are doing some work to update the visuals for the deck builder and the manager as well. I have yet to see those myself, unfortunately, so I can't give you too much of a description of what they look like. But when we stream next week, the patch will have been live, so we'll be able to show you kind of what that looks like now. So we'll walk through all of this next week too. And then we're doing some basic economy tweaks, or, you know, like I said, really low-level stuff based on some of the feedback that you guys have given. Again, thank you very much for contributing in the forums. And like, I can't stress this enough. As you guys do or choose not to do things within the game, that in and of itself tells us stuff. So things like if you don't like your quest and you recycle it, we get to know which quests people don't like, how regularly they're recycling it, and then we get to test different things out. And for example, in this, for quests, one of the things that we know based on that is we do know which quests people seem to not want to do for one reason or another, whether it's the type of quest it is or whether it's the reward for the quest. And so we're changing some of the quests up this time around. I don't know if we're getting rid of all of, we're getting rid of at least some of the like 150 gold reward quests, and some of the ones that just had a flush rate that was really high that people really didn't want to have to do. So we are constantly looking at the feedback that you guys provide us, whether it is direct or indirect, such as through your decisions that you make while playing. The same goes for all the other stuff, like depending on how long you play, how frequently you play, how much how often you redeem certain things, what you build, what you use your wild cards for. It's kind of stuff like it helps us make decisions on things like the way that we handle a lot of this stuff. And it's especially true for the feedback that you give us directly in the forums. That's really, really helpful, especially when we have an opportunity to get in and have a real conversation with you. And some of that feedback drives things like you guys have said, we're starting to tweak this economy based on some of these bits of feedback. Like we're messing around with some wildcard stuff. Like got notes that we're increasing like the rare and uncommon wildcard frequency. We're also making it so that like your common weekly wildcard I think is getting replaced with an uncommon. So less commons, more uncommons in places. And so we're constantly going to be listening to the things you guys say and tweaking. That is the whole purpose of this. This is a beta. The game that we're playing right now is absolutely not the final game, so please continue to give us that feedback. And I know for those of you guys who are would like to see things be slightly different, that is exactly how this process works. So keep giving it to us. Next week, I am fairly certain at this point, not 100%, but like trying really hard, I should at least have kind of a range of time, a significantly more narrow range of time than soon, for when we're doing draft and also when our NDA is dropping. I'm like literally in the last stages of finalizing some of this stuff right now. So I'm hoping that, not right now, but like, in 5 minutes when I leave. So make sure you're here next week so I can have that information. I'm also like, even though like you guys will go out and disseminate this information, I'll also make sure that it gets on social if you're not able to join us next week. So don't worry too much about it. And then, we're going to look at doing more of these streams for longer periods of time with more people in the future, hopefully. It's something I would like to do. It sounds like it's something you guys would like from us, too. I know some of you guys out there miss Paul. I miss Paul. And trying to get some more faces in front of you guys, especially nice if we can get some of the development team. They're super, super busy right now. But it'd be really cool if we're able to get some of them in front of you guys. So we'll try to do that. And then I know that you guys have been asking for some more regular updates in the forums, and we're working on something for that too. So I'm told less something about this in the forums. It
would be nice to see old Paulie Cheebs back. The Cheebles doing his mukbangs.
What we've got coming up and what we're working on right now. So that's gonna do it for me for today. Thank you for dropping in and watching me lose a lot of Magic.
Alright, that's it for this week. He was true to his word. There was no new information. We got to see him play an unwinnable game for 20 minutes, which is what you love about the Majiks. Well, that's about it. You got to see some games. He's the only man allowed to stream any games, so this is it. Eat my shit.